disappearing director, Bobby Bridges. Bobby was part of a New York crime family with a branch in Newport, Kentucky, a town just across the Ohio River from Cincinnati. Bobby gave federal testimony in the trial of 2 of its members, and now he's under the protection of the Justice Department. But it seems his family hasn't forgotten what Augusta and Malcolm did that put 2 of its members in prison for a long time.
Friday, September 11th, 1964, 12:30 a.m. Malcolm sat bolt upright at the first ring of the phone, fully awake. Mitchell. Ah yes, Detective Mitchell. Notice anything missing in your world? The voice came through the receiver as smoothly as poised. Malcolm glanced across the bed to see Augusta's side had not been touched. Who is this? He barked his words out. Icy fingers of fear spread across his chest and down his limbs. He fought for control. Where is she? He thought. A smothered laugh. No lady in your bed tonight, detective? Malcolm repeated. Who are you? A relative of Bobby Bridges. Ponty, Malcolm thought. He has been in town. Jim was right. Holding the receiver between his shoulder and chin, Malcolm tugged on his pants, grabbed his gun and holster from the top drawer of the chiffonier. What do you want, Ponty? Still balancing the receiver precariously, he reached for his shirt, jerked it off the back of the chair, slid an arm in, and shrugged it across his back. Oh, very astute, detective. I was told you were smart. Tell me what you want, or I'll end this conversation. Malcolm's words came through parched lips. He drew the holster in one smooth, quick movement. It's not what I want, Detective Mitchell. It's what you want. A pause. And I have her. Controlling his voice took immense effort. I don't believe you. Let me speak to her. Unfortunately, the lady is indisposed at the moment. I thought we discussed business first. Malcolm clenched his jaw so tightly his teeth hurt. We don't talk at all until I hear her voice. Calm down, detective. She's sleeping gently. For now, I'll allow you to talk to her after she awakens. Chloroform. They knocked her out with chloroform. The thought enraged him. What do you want? Money? Another oily laugh. Dear detective, you have my grandnephew. His grandmother and I want him back. I'll exchange him for Augusta McKee. A pause. You have until 9 p.m. Sunday. I'm not giving you anything until I speak with Augusta. Malcolm wrapped the phone cord tightly around his hand until it drew pain. And we don't have Bobby Bridges here. The FBI has him. Malcolm thought, when I find you, Ponty, you're going to hurt a lot. I'll call you back in an hour. Go ahead and make those calls I know you intend to make, detective. But stay by the phone. The click told him Ponty had ended the conversation. Malcolm raced down the stairs 2 at a time, stopping abruptly when he saw Caruso lying next to the front door. A stabbing clutch in his gut, he knelt down beside the dog. She's not coming home tonight, buddy, he said softly, a slight shake in his voice. He patted the top of the dog's head, and Caruso stared at him sadly. This is a nightmare. Augusta was missing Nunzio Ponty, a crime boss, holding her hostage. After putting on a pot of coffee, Malcolm grabbed the address book Augusta kept in the kitchen and found Dennis Halloran's number. He answered on the first ring. Father Halloran? Dennis. It's Malcolm Mitchell. Augusta isn't home yet. She isn't, concerned in his voice. When did your meeting break up? Malcolm sensed the priest checking his time. Oh, a couple of hours ago. Augusta said she wanted to stay and organize her notes. We had a pretty intense session about the set, and we made a lot of decisions. You met in the auditorium? Yes, till about 10:45. But she should have been home before midnight. She's not here. He hesitated. No, I need this man. This goes no further. Well, you have my word. I just got off the phone from Nunzio Ponti. He claims he's abducted her. Dear God. Tell me what I can do. Call all the hospitals, see if the woman meeting Augusta's description was admitted tonight. I'm going to call Jim Edmonds and have him check accident reports. We'll do. A pause. I'll come to the house after I make those calls. The tightness in Malcolm's chest eased slightly as he began to put his plan in motion. Thank you. I'll appreciate that. I'm praying for her safety, Malcolm. So am I, Father Howell. He made the next phone call to Jim Edmonds, relaying the same information and receiving the same commitment. Jim, do one more thing before you come here. Check the Cliffside campus and see if Augusta's car is still there. Take a detail with you to examine the area around the car for any signs of a scuffle. Copy that. You okay, partner? No, but jumping right on this, it helps. Hands barely steady, Malcolm poured himself a cup of coffee, and he whistled softly for Caruso, who trotted into the alcove. He laid his muzzle on Malcolm's knee and stared up at him with troubled eyes. He stroked the dog's hilly head and scratched behind the ears. I know, boy. I want her home, too. The phone rang at 10 after 1, and Malcolm picked it up immediately, grabbing the pad and pencil ready to write everything down that he could. We have Professor McKee here, Detective Mitchell, Ponti said. As you requested, Ponti's voice sounded distant as he added, speak to him. He's holding hands to her face. Are her hands bound? Malcolm's jaw clenched as he ground his teeth. Malcolm? She sounded a little shaky. Augusta, are you all right? A deep breath. Yes, I think so. Are you sure? They told me you were unconscious and couldn't talk to me when I first called. Yes, I think I was chloroformed. He caught a raspy breath. Are you sure you're all right? She added hastily, just a bad headache, but it's quickly getting better. Ponti's voice. Well, Detective, now we have completed the preliminaries. You want to get back so you can know the terms and make it happen? We'll have to call the FBI. Call me back at 9 tonight. I should have a progress report by then, and I'll have to speak to Augusta again to be sure she's all right. The click indicated the end of the conversation. Malcolm gripped the pencil so tightly it snapped in two. You'll regret you did this, Ponti, I promise you. Caruso barked vigorously at the tap at the front door. Dennis Halloran entered. Without a word, he embraced Malcolm. I have coffee. Malcolm pointed toward the alcove. Caruso followed them into the room and curled up quietly at Malcolm's feet. Another knock at the door, which prompted Caruso to greet the new visitor. Jim Edmonds gave his partner a hearty hug with reassuring smacks on the back. We'll get her back now. What did you find at Cliffside? Malcolm asked. Her car was there. Yes, there was a struggle, scuff marks on the walk from shoes, and her briefcase had fallen next to the car. It looks like she scratched the door with her car keys, which were missing, along with her purse. There's a full crime scene investigation underway. Malcolm's mouth twisted. Sounds like she put up a fight. He moved to the alcove window and stared into the dark, starless night. Where the hell is she? He turned to both men. The timeline of Ponti's calls leads me to believe that she's still in Cincinnati. He explained his reason. Malcolm leaned against the wall and closed his eyes, thinking, he might kill her even if we give him Bobby. Which we can't. Focus, Mitchell. You're going to find her. You have no choice. He paused. You know what? Augusta's comment, I think it meant something more, about time. She probably knows when she was kidnapped and when she woke up. I think she's confirmed my theory about still being on the side of the river and close to Cliffside's campus. So we're agreed she's still in Cincinnati. Jim, you got a city map in your car? Jim nodded and headed outside to retrieve it. Dennis said softly, Augusta's a strong woman, Malcolm. She's smart and she's resourceful, She'll get through this. Malcolm's throat constricted. Will she? Monty came to Cincinnati to take care of this himself. That means it's personal for him. He's shrewd and he's ruthless. Who knows what he's planned? I've never felt so helpless. Jim returned and spread the map over the dining table in the alcove. I'll agree with you that I think she's here. But where the hell is the start? Jim gazed at Malcolm. All three men stared at the map, realizing with growing dismay the sizable amount of territory their city covered, even when the northern Kentucky towns weren't included. Malcolm stabbed an index finger at the cliffside campus site. We start here.